Lance Brewer here, Josh Mauldin, and we're wanting to do just a quick mid-fall check-in for discipleship group. So one of the things I want to share with you, and then Josh is going to talk a little bit more about reading through Revelation, because Revelation and Joel and Amos, that'll be our next 3.5 weeks of reading. So Revelation will be our New Testament reading, and that can sound a little intimidating. I know that. We'll address that. I want to point you to a couple of resources. One is the Bible Project videos. Maybe you're familiar with those. I've got a link here with this video that will give you overviews of these books as well. So I'm going to point you to maybe listening to those, watching those. And then also another resource, online resource, is called overviewbible.com. I've got a link for that as well. It gives some good just reading overview of these books as well. We're doing that this time because we know that these passages can be a little more visionary in a sense, pointing to end times and those kind of things. So I just want to give you that. But I want to encourage you, don't get bogged down in all those things that we're reading. Josh will give us some tips on how we might kind of walk through on our own some of these things as well. But I thought it might be helpful this go around as well. So Revelation, we are starting this week and reading through Revelations, and not all the chapters, but quite a bit of them. Help us with how we think through journaling on those in particular and reading through that. What do you think?
The temptation is going to be all the things that intimidate us about Revelation, or that apocalyptic imagery, to really either be intimidated by it, run from it, or focus on it and make that your highlight verse. Let me encourage you to do a couple of things as you read through Revelation. Number one, focus on Jesus for a couple of reasons. That is the focus of the book of Revelation. Like, all that apocalyptic imagery is supposed to draw our attention to the greatness of Jesus. And there's some really clear passages that help to reveal Jesus. That's what's being revealed in the book of Revelation, is the greatness of Jesus. And the whole point of disciple groups, as we often say, disciple groups exist to help us follow Jesus. That everything we read, talk about, journal is designed to help us know, love, trust, worship, follow, obey Jesus more. So don't get caught up in some vision of a dragon. Read the passage and say, which of these verses helps me to know, trust, and love Jesus more? And focus on those, and journal on those, and talk about those. The other thing to keep in mind is the book of Revelation is written to churches, to believers, to help them to remain faithful in the face of adversity and difficulty. And some of you, that's what your life is right now, is adversity and difficulty. So what should you focus on in your discussion, in your journaling, and in your reading? How were you encouraged to remain faithful to Jesus? As you've seen the greatness of Jesus in the book of Revelation, how are you encouraged to remain faithful to him, especially knowing how the story ends? That's the beauty that we get in Revelation, is it ends with the end of our story, of our existence with Jesus forever in heaven. So those would be my two main ways to encourage you through all the intimidating things in the book of Revelation. Focus on the greatness of Jesus, because that's what disciple groups are about, and what the book of Revelation is about. And how does it encourage you to remain faithful in the face of difficulty and adversity?
Great words there, Josh. Thanks for those helpful tips. Hey, let me point you to one more resource that back in 2017, 2018, Josh preached a sermon series on preached through the book of Revelation. Yeah. I think 17 messages there. So we're going to link to you on that. I'm not suggesting you listen to all 17 messages as we read through this. At some point, I think you ought to listen to those. Really good teaching and preaching on Revelation. But you can zero in on maybe some of those passages as well. Just another resource that you might want to check out along the way as well. So, hey, stick with it, keep persevering, and faithfulness. If we learned anything from Daniel, it was faithfulness. If we learned anything in Mark, it's faithfulness. So be faithful to read even when it might be challenging as well. I hope it goes well for you.